Happy Monday, everybody. It is great to have you with us early on First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
And I'm Cerise Cole, along with meteorologist Jared Lansford, senior chief meteorologist Rusty Lord. After the bitter cold weather we had this weekend, looking forward to some warmer temperatures this week, Rusty.
Yeah, you just got to wait for the afternoon for those to arrive, but they're on the way. So everything about today is so much warmer than yesterday. A good 20 degrees warmer at every hour of the day than what we had yesterday. Yesterday at this time we were down near 0. Today we're 22 degrees, but with the south breeze feels like 12. So it's still plenty cold out there. You will want heavy winter gear, no doubt, to head out the door. With 20s that feel like teens in single digits. 5 in Carroll is what it feels like. Feels like 7 in Atlantic at the moment. So the wind gust forecast looks like this for today. It'll be at its strongest this morning out of the southeast or southwest up near 20 miles per hour. Then it gradually backs off and it should be pretty light later on this afternoon. So that tops our weather headlines with the warmer air that's going to work its way in. Warmest day of the week actually lining up to be tomorrow. Then later this week, some strong wind and a brief cold blast will work its way in. Some high clouds trying to stream in from the northwest as of right now. Those probably won't be a huge issue, but some clouds around to start off the day as temperatures climb to near 40 degrees by noon. And then into the afternoon, all 40s all the time, 45 to 46 by 3 o'clock. By 5, we're right around 40. And then into the evening hours, things pretty quiet, mid-30s by 7 o'clock. So a much warmer afternoon, pretty mild one. Overnight tonight, 30s become 20s. And you can see some fog settling into some of the valleys there. Might have a little bit of that to start off the day tomorrow. And with a 7 a.m. temperature in the 20s. Then 54 degrees for the afternoon high on Tuesday. Looks great there. A lot of warmth on the way for the afternoon. Still pretty good on Wednesday with 51, but the south winds start to pick up on Wednesday, and you notice the shower chance. It's after 10 o'clock Wednesday night through the overnight, and it actually looks like it will stay warm enough overnight Wednesday night to keep that all rain. No threat of any icing or any snow with that round.
So the first 3 days of this week look pretty promising. It's to Thursday, things get a little windy.
Yeah, that's probably the one day that you need to pay attention to the most. First alert to the wind gusts that are going to pick up. Now, I mentioned how Wednesday, they'll probably late get in that 25 to 30 range. Pretty quiet even still by 7 a.m. Thursday, but look at all this wind up here to the northwest. That'll dive in, and I think we're going to gust 40 to 50, maybe even 55 miles per hour pretty easily. So you remember that bout of wind that we had last week? It was just for a few hours in the morning. It's going to be during the day on Thursday. Hopefully not quite as strong. The 60 mile per hour plus wind gusts are consistently showing up in central Nebraska, so probably not going to be as strong as it was last round, but gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour. We'll let you know, give you a first alert if that changes, because that 60 mile per hour threshold, that's the key one. That gets you right up near damaging severe thunderstorm wind potential, but these would just be from everyday winds, not from severe thunderstorms, and gradually weakening in the evening. South winds do pick back up on Friday, though, gusting near 30 miles per hour. That's a good thing because that'll bring the warmth right back. So it's a 42 degree high early on Thursday, and then falling off to about 15 to start Friday, and then a quick rebound on Friday. So it's a brief little dip, and then we get 40s. You can see the last day of the 10-day forecast there. That is Christmas Eve. So pretty good. A lot of 40s and 50s all the way in. The one little setback right now looks like it's going to be that Thursday, the day that kind of goes backwards.
Not much to complain about, though, with that forecast.
You can get all your gifts, so no excuses. Sorry, couldn't get to the store at a big snowstorm. You don't got that working for you.
Sure don't. All right.
Don't say sorry. That's fine.
All right, let's get to traffic now. There's a crash we're going to need to know about as folks head out this morning.
Yeah, if you're somebody who's maybe trying to get to 480 and you use Martha, that's going to be a problem for you. So this is a crash that just came in a little while ago, and let me show you what we're looking at with this. The camera's been a little touch and go here, so we'll see if we still have the picture when we turn here. Okay, so far so good. It's right over here. You can kind of see if you look closely, there's some flashing lights there on Martha. It's right near the meeting point between Martha and that off-ramp from 480 northbound. So watch for that off of the interstate. Interstate's fine. It's once you get to Martha where you run into that crash. So there it is. That's the area to keep in mind if you're going to be driving through that stretch. While we're in this part of the metro, let's check in on the JFK where we've had some delays that have been in place right near I-80. Looks a little better right now, but as we often talk about at this point in the morning, watch for the next wave of traffic that'll hit this area and likely cause some delays here over the next 15-20 minutes or so. Further to the west, we have another crash I've been watching. This is right near 144th and Highway 370. It's on southbound 144th, but it's over on the right shoulder, so we're not seeing much traffic impact out of that one. You just need to watch for some delays that may show up as you're going through that stretch of the metro. So a couple of crashes that have come in. Worth keeping an eye on those if you are going to be heading out the door here shortly. We do have Dodge fully reopened that had the lane restrictions right near UNO. That's been fully freed up, so good news for anyone who's using that stretch. A little slow as you get a little further here right around the 72nd or so area heading eastbound. Watch for that. And 90th and Dodge also showing some minor delays. Mostly moving along pretty well in the metro in the early going. Of course, we've got a few different updates on some construction projects, and that includes a full road closure on Military, which a lot of people use. We're going to talk a little more in detail about where exactly that is and how you get around it in just a bit.
Okay. Jared, thank you very much. A scare for shoppers at Westroads Mall. Omaha police say reports of shots fired actually turned out to be a fight. Officers responding to the mall just before 5 o'clock last night. OPD tells us that a fight started between teens. It broke out outside of Von Mar. In the middle of this commotion, something was knocked over that made a loud noise. Police believe that noise is what led to the shots fired reports. Officers found that there was no shooter, no evidence of shots fired, no arrests were made, and nobody was hurt. Omaha police have arrested a man in connection to a murder near Benson.
OPD booked 19-year-old Kashmir Burse for the shooting death of 18-year-old Darren Greer. Burse faces several charges, including first-degree murder and possessing a stolen firearm. Now, this all began when police rushed through the area of 61st and Bedford Friday night. There, they found 3 people shot. All of them went to the hospital. Greer later died from his injuries. Happening today, the Jewish Federation of Omaha, local law enforcement, and elected officials are set to address the community on the impact of that deadly shooting in Sydney, Australia. Representatives from Omaha synagogues will also attend. Last night, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office provided extra security at Temple Israel and Stinson Park. It was the first night of Hanukkah. A tweet from the department read in part, quote, "No matter your faith or beliefs, everyone deserves to celebrate the holidays safely." The news conference starts at 1:30 at the Jewish Community Center this afternoon.
All right, over here at the safety desk now with Maria Cade. Maria, you have some information to keep in mind as you're maybe getting those holiday presents, because some toys for kids can be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, that last minute shopping, there are some things that you want to keep in mind, and experts want to make sure that when you are giving gifts to kids especially, you want to give them things that are safe for them. So the first thing that you want to stay away from, they say, is anything that has a battery in it, because of course kids can swallow those without you even realizing. So if that gift must have a battery, experts recommend only buying toys that need a screwdriver to open that battery slot. You also, pretty new this year, want to avoid some toys that have artificial intelligence. There are also often a lot of injuries from motorized vehicles like electric scooters or bikes, so be cautious if those are on your kids' Christmas list as well. A general rule of thumb, though, for those small toys is if the toy or a part of a toy can fit inside of a toilet paper roll, that actually can be something that they could swallow and get really hurt by. So you might want to avoid something like that.
Okay, good rule of thumb, though. Thank you. We're back after this.
Happy Monday morning, everybody. Taking a live look outside Omaha as we start a new work week. We've been talking a lot about how things are going to warm up around this week, but don't be deceived, folks. It's still cold out there this morning.
Yeah, you don't warm up until the afternoons this time of year. Remember that. It gets pretty darn cold in the mornings, and that's where we're at. Wind chills are single digits and teens for a large portion of the country, and that's where we're at right now. Notice Chicago, Cedar Rapids, below zero. We're at 12 in Omaha. The numbers will improve greatly in the next couple of hours. Just got to have a little patience and wait for it. You can see the sunlight. Just got to get it above the horizon, and it'll start to do its job here. Temperatures will warm. Tomorrow's going to be the warmest day of the week. We talked about those winds a little earlier. Get a brief blast of some cold with that. Today we go to about 46 around 4 o'clock, and then fall back into the 20s again by tomorrow morning. So another cold morning, but another warm start, or a warm afternoon, I should say. 54 degrees on Tuesday, 51 on Wednesday. Some showers after 10 o'clock you see here. This is 10 o'clock on models that have the rain arriving the earliest, and those would try to drop southeast through the area overnight while you're sleeping. And notice they stay all rain. I think we should stay well above that key 32 degree point to not to worry about anything icing up. It doesn't look like the cold air catches these to turn them into snow at all before they move out of our area. You can see there's hints of it up there. And then the clouds that wrap around on the back edge of this try to bring a little bit of flurry activity by middle of the day on Thursday. Not all that much to worry about though. A fair amount of sunshine. It's just going to be incredibly windy as we head into Thursday. And that's, again, the big story here for this week. That rain Wednesday night, then it brings the wind in with it. This is 7 a.m. Thursday, not all that bad yet, but then those winds race in. Gusts by noon in that 40 to 50 range, the 60s to the west. Still some gusts near 50 by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then those get better and better into the evening and overnight before the south wind picks back up on Friday, takes the cold air, kicks it out of here, and returns the warm air back into the equation with a pretty good Friday afternoon on the way. So the diving temperature is about a 24-hour window here where we get an early high of 42 on Thursday, then we fall off. Notice, while the rain's moving through Wednesday night, only down to 39 for the low. So it's just going to be a chilly rain, wash the streets off a little bit, and then what we'll see is a 46-degree afternoon high on Friday. Nice little rebound after that cold morning, the coldest one we have right there over the week ahead.
All right, we've got to check out that 10-day forecast, which now very excitingly includes Christmas Eve. Yeah. But it doesn't look like there's going to be any winter whiteouts at this point.
Yeah, right now everything's trending towards some very mild, good travel weather, at least for a large portion of the country. In our area for sure. Look at all the 40s we have for afternoon highs. We'll see if something changes up. But right now, it doesn't look like any big storm systems to worry about. And you look at the outlook for temperatures beyond. This is the average, the way things are looking in that December 22nd to 28th range. So this is about 2 weeks out here, and you can see warmer than average weather trying to take shape over a large portion of the country. So warmer than average would likely mean a lot of 40s and maybe upper 30s at the coolest, minus a random cold day, kind of like we're getting on Thursday. Yeah. So not too bad here. If we can take that to the end of the month, there you go. That's 1 month of winter down.
Wow.
Check. I like the sound of that. All right, let's talk about some traffic now. There's a major road closure that folks need to know about.
Yeah, if you are somebody who uses military a lot, you're going to want to pay attention. We've been trying to first alert you to this over the last week or so that this was coming, but it starts today with that stretch between 67th and 70th closing. And it's a long-term closure. All the way to May is how long this is scheduled to last. There's a culvert that's getting replaced in this stretch, and that's the reason why this is happening. So with that being the case, you're going to be seeing a lot of traffic that gets added to some of the roads right around there. As probably best alternate routes are 72nd to Ames over to 66th, and you can see people are already doing that this morning with how slow 66th and 72nd are already at this point. It gets pretty slow anyway near 72nd and Military, 72nd and Ames. So when you're adding more traffic to that, just be ready for it to be pretty slow if you're going to be heading into that area. This is going to be something we'll be watching over the next few days to see how that traffic pattern change gets handled in that stretch. Speaking of road closures, how about 24th? This is right near that roundabout near Cass Street where you have that closing today as well. That's scheduled for the next week while utility work takes place. So south of Burt, you won't be able able to get through that stretch on 24th. You'll need an alternate route such as 30th for your north-south travel. A couple of minor crashes that are in place right now. That includes Martha right near 480, where you may encounter some slowed traffic there as you're making your way along that stretch. Also 144th right around 370. That over on the right shoulder as you head southbound. But mostly moving along pretty well in the early going. Just a couple of minor delays that are showing up on Dodge, and nothing that is going to be a big slowdown for you at this point. Hopefully we can hold that as we head through the rest of the Monday and get the week off to a pretty smooth start for us.
Okay, Jared, thank you very much. Nebraska's Department of Education has a new strategic plan aimed at improving academic success in the state.
That's right. The goal is for students to have higher proficiency rates in reading, writing, and math. Currently, the state's proficiency rate in math is just over 42%. The goal is to bump that all the way up to 80% in the next 4 years. In addition to improving proficiency rates, the Education Department also wants to reduce chronic absenteeism in the state schools. Well, starting today, Metro Transit's Route 55 will separate from Route 15. Now, this will allow Route 55 to arrive every half hour during peak times. If you need to ride Route 15, you'll have to transfer between 84th and Center and the Exarban Transit Center. Route 4 also changing. For early evening trips, the current 30-minute service will be extended to an hour in each direction. The late evening trip will be extended by an hour as well. The last stop will now be at 11:41 p.m. Route 13 will also extend its service for an hour in each direction. The last stop is now at 11:18 p.m. On-demand service hours will also be extended for routes 4 and 13. To your Big Red Extra coverage this morning, heartbreak in Huskerland. Nebraska volleyball's national championship hopes fall just one win shy of the Final Four and on their home courts.
Yeah, the Huskers losing a 5-set classic to Texas A&M. Aggies jumped out to a 2-0 lead on the strength of 8 aces in the first 2 sets. Huskers battled back-to-back to force a decisive 5th set after winning a marathon 4th set 37-35.
That set showed that we weren't going to just let them take it from us on our home court and in our gym, and it sucks right now, but we have to walk away with our heads high because we do so many amazing things every year, and it might not work out the way you want to, but there's so much to be proud of.
Well, the Final Four field is officially set. The Aggies get Pitt while Wisconsin outlasts Texas A&M in 5 to set up a date with Kentucky.
33-1 is still a great season. All right, coming up, it's time.
Yeah, find out which singer will be kicking off the 2026 Winter Olympics when we come back.
All new this morning, all I want for Christmas is the Olympics.
We're just finding out who will perform at the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics opening ceremony in February. And it's Mariah Carey, MC, the Queen of Christmas herself. She is the first international star named to perform, and she's sure to bring some American pop star pedigree. The games are happening in northern Italy. The ceremony is set for February 6th at Milan's San Siro Soccer Stadium. Good pick there.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah,
Everybody will know her.
I know.
To be honest, though, I don't know how they're going to top last Olympics in Paris. I mean, with Celine Dion performing on the Eiffel Tower.
Right about
That
that.
was amazing. Like, that's a moment I don't think a lot of people will ever forget anytime soon. So I will be excited to see what they do. And the song that she performed was so beautiful. And obviously, she came back after her illness as well. It was really powerful.
You're right about that.
But I can't wait to see what MC's going to do.
No.
She'll bring it.
She doesn't like to be outdone, so they
No.
picked a good person and Mariah Carey.
They got a month and a half to figure it out.
Yeah,
so.
she does. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over our air.
Have a great start to your Monday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Monday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. Let's get to some updates on the roads. Starting with Martha, Jarrett.
Yeah, we had a crash that had been in place right off of the off-ramp east from northbound 480. It looks like just within like the last 30 seconds or so, that is cleared. So some good news for those of you who use Martha right near 480 after that had been in place for a little while. There's the stretch where we had been looking at with a few delays. But again, that looks like that crash has now cleared. So heading in the right direction in that area. We've had some delays building on the JFK again, right near I-80. This is as we're picking up our traffic. That's one of our main spots with delays. Also a little slow I-80 eastbound as you get near 84th. Rusty.
Thanks, Jarrett. A lot warmer than it was yesterday morning. We had single digits yesterday morning. We're in the 20s right now, low to mid 20s over much of the area, but don't get me wrong, it's still cold. Yeah, any breeze whatsoever puts the wind chill down in the teens. So the wind isn't all that strong. Couple of gusts still up near 20 miles per hour. Sustained though, we're about 5 to 15 in many locations. Feels like 12 in Omaha, single digit wind chills on the Iowa side, and a little bit warmer back to the southwest. That's going to be the case all day. Just gradually warming up a lot more than we did yesterday. 46 or so for the afternoon high. In the evening, things calm down quite a bit. 10-day forecast shows 54 degrees on Tuesday, probably the warmest we'll have this week. 51 on Wednesday, early high of 42 on Thursday. Be mindful, a windy day on Thursday as temperatures go backwards from 42 all the way down to 15 by early Friday morning. Aaron?
Metro Transit's Route 55 will separate from Route 15 today. This will allow Route 55 to arrive every half hour during those peak times. And to ride Route 15, you'll have to transfer between 84th and Center and the Exarban Transit Center.
Well, it is 7:28. We're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.